The Oracle sits in her kitchen. Agent Smith walks in. 5 minutes later, she's gone. Assimilated. Overwritten. Code consumed by the virus that's been copying itself across the entire Matrix. Everyone watching that scene thought the same thing. Smith just won. But here's what actually happened. The Oracle, the program who sees every possible future, who predicted Neo's entire journey from the beginning, who manipulated the architect himself into accepting a new system, that Oracle didn't lose to Smith. She sacrificed herself to him on purpose because it was the only way to kill him. One line buried in their confrontation proves it. Smith says it himself without even understanding what he's admitting.
If she knew I was coming, why wouldn't she leave?
Good question. She baked cookies, set them on the table, sat down in her chair, and waited. The all-knowing Oracle, who spent 3 movies staying 10 steps ahead of everyone, including the machines themselves, suddenly forgot how to run away from danger. Smith keeps pushing.
Maybe you knew I was going to do that. Maybe you didn't.
It seems like Agent Smith was already suspicious about the Oracle's surrender.
If you did, that means you baked those cookies and set that plate right there, deliberately, purposefully.
Agent Smith understood. Whatever the Oracle does, it's always calculated because the Oracle is a prediction machine.
Which means that you're sitting there also deliberately, purposefully.
He's circling the answer without seeing it. Yes. She sat there deliberately. She knew exactly what was coming, and she let it happen anyway. Because losing was the plan. The Oracle doesn't operate on hope or luck. She operates on choice and prediction. She told Neo earlier exactly how her power works, and people glazed over it because it sounded like fortune cookie wisdom. But it's the key to understanding everything she does.
No one can see beyond a choice they don't understand.
Think about what that actually means. The Oracle can't see random chance. She can't predict chaos. What she sees are choices. Human choices, program choices, machine choices. She reads the variables, understands the motivations, and predicts what each entity will choose when faced with specific circumstances. She's not psychic. She's the most sophisticated behavioral prediction engine ever created. And she understood Smith's choice perfectly. Smith is a program designed to eliminate anomalies by assimilation, copying over them, absorbing them, overwriting their code with his own. That's not just his function anymore. After Neo destroyed him in the first film and he came back as a virus, assimilation became compulsion. He can't stop. He doesn't choose to spread, he has to spread. It's hard-coded into his existence now. The Oracle knew he would come for her, knew he would try to overwrite her code, knew he couldn't resist the urge to consume the most powerful program in the Matrix. She positioned herself exactly where he could do it. And she waited. But here's the part most people miss about how assimilation actually works in the Matrix. Programs don't die the way humans do. Death for a program means complete deletion, total erasure from the system. Every line of code wiped clean. That's not what assimilation does. When Smith copies over another program, he doesn't delete them. He absorbs them, overwrites the surface-level personality and appearance, but the foundational code, the abilities, the permissions, the unique attributes, gets pulled into him, integrated into the Smith collective. Every program Smith assimilated gave him something. The agent he copied and reloaded gave him agent-level combat abilities. The humans he copied gave him access to their RSI patterns. Each assimilation added to what he was. When Smith assimilated the Oracle, he didn't destroy her abilities. He inherited them. Watch what happens after that kitchen scene. A new Smith appears in the final act, Smith/Oracle. He's not just another clone in the army. He's different from every other copy, more emotional, more expressive. He laughs with genuine feeling instead of the cold mockery the other Smiths use. His dialogue is philosophical instead of purely antagonistic. And at the end, during Neo's final battle, he's the one doing all the talking. Every other Smith clone stands back and watches. Smith/Oracle is the dominant personality now. More importantly, he's prophetic. During the crater fight, Smith/Oracle stands over Neo and freezes mid-sentence.
I've seen this. This is it. This is the end. You were laying right there, just like that. I stand here, right here.
He's having a vision, seeing the future play out beat by beat before it happens, predicting Neo's position, his own position, even the words he's about to say. Smith never had visions before. He operated on logic, calculation, reaction speed, the infection protocol. He was a tactical program, not a strategic one. Now he's predicting future events with perfect accuracy. That's not Smith's ability. That's the Oracle's code running inside him. Her foresight, her prophetic intuition, her ability to see beyond choices and predict outcomes. And that's exactly what she needed him to have. Because the Oracle wasn't just playing one move ahead. She was solving a problem no one else even understood existed yet. Here's the situation at the beginning of Revolutions. Smith had become genuinely unstoppable. Not because he was physically stronger than the machines, not because he had better weapons or tactics, because he had become invisible to the system that created him. The machines built Smith as an agent. Agents have system access, authorization codes, administrative privileges. They're programs that operate with machine authority, registered in the source, tracked and monitored, and controllable. When the machines need to update an agent, delete an agent, modify an agent, they can. Because agents are part of the authorized program structure. But when Neo destroyed Smith at the end of the first film, Smith came back wrong. Deleted, but not erased. He returned as something the machines never anticipated, a virus with agent-level permissions and zero oversight. He could copy himself infinitely across the Matrix. He could assimilate programs and humans alike. He could operate with administrative privileges, and the machines had no way to track him anymore. Smith was no longer operating within their command structure. He'd severed his connection to the source. He was running on stolen credentials, replicated code, unauthorized processes. From the machine's perspective, he'd become invisible, a rogue program they couldn't find, couldn't target, couldn't delete. They could see the damage he was causing. They could see programs disappearing, sectors of the Matrix getting corrupted, the Smith virus spreading exponentially, but they couldn't lock onto Smith himself, couldn't isolate his code signature, couldn't address him directly. When Neo finally reaches the Machine City and confronts the Deus Ex Machina, he tells them the truth they already know.
Program Smith has grown beyond your control. Soon he will spread through the city as he spread through the Matrix. You cannot stop him.
The machines don't argue. They know he's right. Smith is already consuming the Matrix entirely. Soon he'll break through into the machine world itself, copying over the mainframe programs, assimilating the machine intelligence. They built a control system they can't control, created a weapon they can't aim, deployed a solution that became a bigger problem than what it was meant to solve. They need Neo because they're out of options. Smith is everywhere and nowhere, replicated across millions of instances with no central node to target. Even if they destroyed one Smith, 10,000 others would remain. Even if they shut down entire sectors of the Matrix, Smith would survive in the parts still running. The machines couldn't find him, couldn't target him, couldn't delete him, until the Oracle gave him her signature. The Oracle was still a legitimate program, created by the machines to study human psychology, authorized to operate within the Matrix, registered in the source with full credentials and system recognition. Her code had a signature, a marker, a unique identifier that the machines could see and address. She was visible to the system in ways Smith no longer was. When Smith absorbed her, he absorbed that signature too. Think about what that means structurally. Smith's code was invisible, untraceable, unrecognizable to the source. But now, embedded inside every single Smith clone, there's a fragment of Oracle code A registered signature, a traceable marker, an identity the system knows and can lock onto. Suddenly, the invisible virus has a return address. The machine still couldn't delete Smith directly. He was too widespread, too replicated, too decentralized across the entire Matrix. Targeting one instance would do nothing, but now they could see him. They could recognize the Oracle's code signature running through the Smith network like a beacon. And that meant when the right opportunity came, when all the Smith instances were connected through a single point, they could target the entire network simultaneously through that signature. That opportunity was Neo. Neo goes to the Machine City, crashes the Logos through the defensive perimeter. Trinity dies impaled on rebar. Neo walks blind into 0-1, stands before the Deus Ex Machina, and makes his offer.
You cannot stop him, but I can.
The machines are skeptical. What could one human do against a virus that's consumed the entire Matrix? Every program overwritten, every human still jacked and assimilated. The Matrix itself is now just Smith talking to himself in millions of bodies. But Neo has something they don't, something the architect revealed to him back in Reloaded, but Neo didn't fully understand until now. The power of the One extends beyond the Matrix. It reaches back to the source itself. Neo isn't just a human who can manipulate the Matrix, he's a bridge between worlds. When he stopped those sentinels in the real world by thinking it, that wasn't telekinesis. That was his connection to the source manifesting in the machine world. He's hardwired into the system at a level deeper than code. He's a living interface between human consciousness and machine intelligence, a conduit that works both ways. The deal gets made. Neo will stop Smith. In exchange, the war ends. Zion survives. Any human who wants out of the Matrix gets freed. The machines agree because they have no alternative. Smith is an extinction-level threat to them now. If he breaks into the machine mainframe, their entire civilization ends. They'll gamble on Neo because the alternative is watching everything they built get assimilated by a virus wearing an agent's face. They jack Neo into the Matrix one last time. Direct hardline connection. Neo's body stays in the machine city, physically plugged into the source through cables the machines provide. He's not accessing the Matrix through a remote connection like normal. He's acting as a bridge, a direct conduit between the Matrix and the machine mainframe. Neo materializes in the Matrix. Smith is waiting. Every Smith clone in the entire system converges on that crater. Thousands of them. Millions of them all connected, all synchronized. All focused on the final confrontation with the one anomaly they haven't assimilated yet. Smith/Oracle steps forward, the dominant personality, the one carrying the Oracle's code. He does all the talking now.
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed.
The fight starts. Neo holds his own for a while, flies through the air, throws punches that shatter concrete, dodges, weaves, counters, but he's outnumbered 1,000,000,000 to 1, and Smith isn't just strong anymore. Smith has the Oracle's foresight. He sees Neo's moves before Neo makes them, predicts every strategy, counters every technique. Neo gets beaten down, slammed into the crater wall, broken, exhausted, blind eyes staring at nothing. Smith/Oracle stands over him, ready for the final assimilation, and he says something strange, something that doesn't sound like Smith at all.
Everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo.
That's the Oracle talking, the Oracle's words coming through Smith's mouth. She told Neo that exact phrase earlier when she warned him about Smith's threat, told him the war would end one way or another, told him he was all that stood between Smith and total annihilation. Now, Smith is repeating her prophecy without understanding why. Neo hears it, recognizes the Oracle's voice underneath Smith's words, understands what she's been telling him all along. This was always how it ended. Smith assimilates Neo. The virus achieves total saturation. Every entity in the Matrix becomes Smith, and that's when the source can finally see him. Neo responds with acceptance.
You were right, Smith. You're always right. It was inevitable.
Then he stops fighting, spreads his arms, lets Smith step forward and assimilate him. Smith/Oracle places his hand on Neo's chest. The copying process begins. Neo's code gets overwritten. His RSI transforms. He becomes another Smith clone. The virus wins. Total victory. Complete assimilation. Every program, every human, every entity in the Matrix is now Smith. The system is saturated. There's nothing left to consume. And that's exactly what the Oracle needed, because Neo's body is still jacked into the machine mainframe in 01. Still physically connected to the source through the hardline cables. He's not just in the Matrix, he's acting as a living conduit between the Matrix and the machine world, a bridge that carries information both ways. The moment Smith assimilates Neo, the source recognizes something it hasn't seen in years, the Oracle's code signature. It's right there in the Smith network, embedded in every clone, running through Smith/Oracle, and now running through Smith/Neo, the newest addition to the collective. The signature is connected directly to the source through Neo's hardline connection. The machines finally have a target. They send a deletion pulse through Neo's body, massive surge of energy, electrical current that propagates from the source, through Neo's physical form, into the Matrix, through the Smith-Neo instance, and across the entire Smith network simultaneously. Every Smith clone is connected, every instance synchronized, every copy linked through the collective consciousness. The deletion command hits all of them at once. Agent Smith, who now has Oracle's code, realizes what's happening.
No, it's not fair.
But it's already done. Every Smith explodes into light. The Oracle's code signature gets purged from the system. The virus gets erased. The unauthorized processes get terminated. The Matrix reboots clean, restoring from backup, rebuilding the world without the corruption. Neo's body burns out from the surge. The amount of energy required to delete 1 billion instances of Smith simultaneously is more than human flesh can handle. He dies in the real world. But the Matrix survives. Zion survives. The war ends. Because the Oracle sacrificed herself 6 hours earlier in a kitchen, baking cookies she knew she'd never finish. Smith asked her the question point blank.
If she knew I was coming, why wouldn't she leave?
Because she understood what he was. A virus that couldn't be killed from outside, only from inside. She had to become part of him so the system could see him, had to let him absorb her code so her signature would spread through the entire Smith network, had to mark him for deletion by making herself the traceable element the machines could lock onto when the moment came. She knew Smith would assimilate her, knew Neo would sacrifice himself, knew the machines would use that sacrifice to purge Smith through the Oracle code marker embedded in the virus. Every move calculated, every choice predicted, every outcome foreseen. She told Neo earlier what she wanted.
I want the same thing you want, Neo. And I'm willing to go as far as you are to get it.
Neo was willing to die for peace, so was she. The difference is, she saw the endgame 50 moves ahead, while everyone else was still trying to understand the opening. She knew Smith would come to her kitchen, knew he couldn't resist assimilating the most powerful program in the Matrix, knew he'd absorb her foresight and use it to predict Neo's sacrifice, knew that prediction would make Smith overconfident, certain of victory, blind to the fact that his triumph was the trigger for his deletion. She set the table, baked the cookies, sat down in her chair, waited for the virus to arrive.
Do what you're here to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Smith thought he was winning, thought he'd consumed the Oracle, taken her power, proven his dominance over the last program that could challenge him. He didn't realize he'd been injected with a tracking device, tagged for deletion, marked for death by the one program in the system who could see past the choice he didn't understand. The Oracle didn't get beaten by Smith in that kitchen. She weaponized herself against him, turned her own code into the exploit that would bring down the entire Smith network when the time came, made herself the beacon that would allow the machines to finally see their invisible enemy, sacrificed her existence to mark the virus for extermination. The scene everyone thought was her death was actually her checkmate. Smith just didn't know he was already in position to lose. He saw her sitting there, prophetic and powerless, and assumed he'd cornered her. He never considered that she'd cornered him, that her apparent surrender was the final move in a strategy she'd been executing since the moment Smith first appeared. The Oracle knew. She always knew. She saw the end coming from the beginning, and she walked into it anyway, because the only way to save the Matrix was to let the virus think it had won until the moment the source could see it clearly enough to erase it. Smith/Oracle said it himself at the end, the Oracle's words coming out of his mouth one last time before deletion.
Everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo.
The beginning was the Oracle sitting in her kitchen, deliberately positioning herself for assimilation. The end was every Smith clone exploding into light because they all carried her signature. She planned both.